Hi everyone, welcome to my Mythic Jadefire video. Now, this fight is way much easier than it probably should be. It's kind of unfortunate. There's a lot of unique abilities, a lot of really cool aspects of the fight, but you can kind of brute force it down. So I'm going to show you how we broke it down this week. It took us maybe 15 pulls. Most of our wipes are due to multi-sided strike, which I will show you how to handle. So on the pull, the idea is you want to kill the monk, which is Mestra here. The Dry Knight, you want to, or I don't know what it is on the Alliance side, but you want to kill the monk before they go into their final phase, into their final forms. If you can do that, the entire last phase is trivial and it's easy. So I'm going to show you how this happens. So we start, we pull, we bloodlust and pull. The idea is you want to push the bosses into the living bomb phase before the tigers spawn. Now with the gear that you should have at this point, it shouldn't be too hard. But if you find yourself getting to the living bombs prior to, if you get to the tigers at the same time or right before a living bomb, it is actually in your best interest to wait, kill the tigers, and then push. With our DPS, we're able to push and kill 2 living bombs before tigers, which is kind of ideal. So tanking wise, I start on the monk, my co-tank starts on the mage, and we switch about 6-ish debuffs. So when the debuff expires, it does a giant AoE damage to the entire raid, so you want to keep it low, and 6 is normally good enough. So every so often, we have the monk will teleport to a random location and start spinning, and the mage will blink to a different position and start casting Pyroblast with a shield on him. So to counter this, what you want to do, you see the spinning crane kick, is to stop that you have to melee the monk. So as a demon hunter, I can just jump in, hit her once, and she stops. The Pyroblast is actually a lot easier. It's way easier than it should be because the shield breaks instantly and then you just interrupt. If you don't interrupt, it one-shot somebody. So be focused and kill on the monk. All damage is on the monk. So we have living, what's that living bomb, what's this called? Flame traps. So here's your 3 flame traps. If you get hit by one, you get a debuff on you that increases the damage you take by 100%. If you get hit by another one, it also shoots you flying way up in the air. Now this can be mitigated simply by people who can pop turtle as a hunter and run through them. You can do Cloak of Shadows, you can do any real immunities and you'll be alright. As a DH, I can hit it and instantly spam glide and not go flying in the air. So at this point is the first multi-strike, or multi-sided strike. So he takes 18 people upstairs, which I'll have the footage for here shortly. And when you're learning the fight, most, if not all, well, most of your wipes would be people dying to the multi-sided strike. I will say our first like 8, 9, maybe even 10 wipes was to multi-sided strike. Just lost like 4, 5 people. So at this point, it's just me and the healer. And what I'm going to do is I'm letting the healer know I'm going to pop one of these traps. So I'm going to hit it, and I'm going to spam glide so I don't go up in the air. Alright, so with a multi-sided strike, when you come downstairs, if you do it correctly, if you look at the right image, you get a stack of this buff. Now this buff gives you 5% more damage, so if you do all combos correctly, you get 5 stacks, which you do 25% increased damage. It's kind of big. Everyone you miss, you take an insane amount of damage. So if you look here, a lot of people get all 5 right, which is what you want. Alright, so here are the living bombs. There are 3 in these positionings, never change. So what we do is we set up and send everybody to this one over here except a Havoc DH. The Havoc DH is using Soul Raining for self-healing, and it goes and stands into the last target we're going to kill. So we're going to bring the boss over. Now, there's a smoke cloud here, and when you're in it, you can't be targeted by heals from outside the smoke bomb, or whatever it is called. And you can't DPS from outside in, so everybody has to move inside the smoke to DPS and heal, and just dodge this laser beam. So we're just going to rotate in the circles, hard focus the living bombs. They will pulse and do a lot of AoE damage, so you want them dead as quickly as possible. At this point, there are debuffs that are going out. I don't remember, it's like searing something. Basically what it does is it does taking damage to the person, and if it is not dispelled, it does 50 to 70k to the entire raid, so they all have to be dispelled. To get dispelled, by the way, the people have to see you, so if you're Searing Embers is what it's called. So say there's a healer out here, they can't dispel Hex inside the Living Bomb because they can't see them. So everybody has to run into the circle. So if we kill the second Living Bomb, just rotate around it. And if you look here, the Havoc DH is self-sustaining by himself over here on the last one. Now what I see is the mage blinked away and is going to cast Pyroblast. So take note how easy it is to break the shield to interrupt him. So I know he's out there, so I'm going to jump out. Tigers just spawned, by the way. And the shield's already broken, and it's interrupted. So right now we have a Living Bomb alive with 2 Tigers. All damage, hard switch, CC, and kills the Tigers. The Tigers will kill people, guaranteed. You have to kill them. If you're targeted by a Tiger, you gotta just kite. So once all the Tigers are dead, we go and kill the last Living Bomb. I'm trying to do a tank switch, but the Cloud of Living Bomb was making it difficult. Alright, so here's the Searing Embers. This should be mass dispelled. Alright, so multi-sided strike. So this is how it works. There's always a set order to this. It goes blue, green, red, green, blue. And you have to turn your character, not your camera, but your character to look at it. So look at blue, then green, then red, then green, and then blue. And that's it. It's really that easy. When I come down, I think this is where we do a taunt switch. Oh, the other tank died. So I popped meta here just because the other tank's dead. I wanted to buy time for him to get rezzed. Alright, so here is the only other real hard part of the phase, the maze. Now how this works is you have to run around the rings of pieces to get over and DPS the wall down. Now there'll be 4 balls that spawn. That makes a wall vulnerable. So there's one right here where we are, there's one over here by Star, and you'll see them as we're jumping around. There are ways to cheese these mechanics. You can glide over the rings of pieces. You can actually bop somebody and they can just run all the way through them all. It's kind of ridiculous. So the goal is to get there, break it before the stampeding, I think it's an ox, kills everybody. Yeah. So you gotta watch out for any living bombs that are still there. Yeah, I'm just getting bounced around a little bit. That's really bad of me. Alright, so like there's an orb, they picked it up. Here's another orb. I don't know why people just ran by the orb. I don't know why they did that. But you can use any movement speeds or anything like that while you have the orb. By the way, here's the ox that's coming. So I can Infernal Strike, and then you can also take Warlock Gateways. And then once you have it, you just right click on part of the barrier to dispel it. And the idea is all 4 barriers share HP. So if you have 4 available, you can AoE all 4 at the same time and kill it even faster, because you will die instantly if the ox is on you. Alright, so we have 3 broken. You don't see the 4th. There's the 4th. Alright, so we're just AoEing everything down, and here's the ox. So we're going to get away from it. And we barely got that. So then it goes back to normal. All the damage goes back on the monk. And then we have our multi-sided strike again. At this point, the fight's essentially over. Everybody's alive. Assuming nobody dies to multi-strike, the fight's over. We win. Alright, so the tigers. So you can kill the tigers. Always hard switch the tigers. If you do this correctly, you should only get 3 multi-strike sided strikes and 2 tigers. I think I let the tank die again. Yeah, he had 9 stacks, a ton on the wrong target. Alright, so at this point, you want to kill the monk before anything else happens. Yeah, this fight has a lot of really cool mechanics. The issue is it's just too easy. And the monk's dead, so now it's literally a joke. You just dodge the flame traps and you just kill the boss. Yeah, still gotta mess the spell with the Searing Embers, dodge the flame traps. Flame traps come all the time, you just have to be not complacent, especially as melee. I think at some point we use a turtle to get rid of all the traps, to give us a little more room. Oh yeah, the tank died again. I don't remember how or why. Yeah, right there is our hunter popping all the traps just to make it easier, give us more room. And that's it. So the goal is to not die to multi-sided strike, kill the monk first, and do the maze. If you can do those three things, that fight is really, really easy. I've seen guilds who are 3 of 9 mythic, but only 6 of 9 heroic. So it gives you sort of an idea of how easy this is. So please, if you have any questions, leave in the comments, and thank you for watching.